Deep in Fornius Manor, Severa stood in her laboratory. In a stainless steel room, with numerous terminals, blue energy lights tracing across the walls, Severa observed a seed in a cylindrical tube of preservative fluid, as a digital screen showing its attributes hovered over it. Severa hummed to herself as she scanned the screen of attributes that simulated a tree, its roots absorbing sludge and releasing energy. 34th version of the Vigor Crest. Toxosynthesis increased by 80%. Grace emissions increased by 50%. You seem ready for planting my great solution. She pressed a button and drained the preservative fluid from the tank, and took the large brown seed with fairy markings etched into the surface into her pocket. A portal opened in the center of her laboratory, and out of it came her master Fornius, holding his scepter and an orb brimming with teal energy. I see you've been busy with your chemia experiments. I'd hate to interrupt, but you need another temporal donation. Understood. Fornius held out the teal orb, and Severa poured her amber soul energy into the vessel. Amber became teal temporal energy that swirled inside like a vortex. She stopped as her energy began to flicker, and finished her daily donation of temporal energy. This used to be a lot more exhausting, she said. Well, you have been progressing far faster than other apprentices I've had. I wasn't even proficient at magic when I was 16. How much energy is in there now? I've been donating time and energy for 5 years, so 200, she surmised. Fornius chuckled and corrected. You have a lot to learn, because I have no clue where you got that answer from. 350 years worth of energy you have stockpiled in my orb. Hopefully it'll have 5 centuries worth in the next 3 years. And then what? Severa asked. My son is brought back to his fullest strength, and you can do whatever you want. Fornius answered. Humph, she grumbled, not believing the last part of his answer. If that's all you need, I'll be heading out. Very well. Take your leave, and I'll warp you when I need you. Fornius allowed as he walked through his portal that shut as he entered. She stood on an elevator and glamored herself as her human guise Alexa. Her white hair became a brown ponytail, chalk-white skin became fair, her ruby-red eyes became brown, after glistening prismatic light washed over her. The elevator stopped at the upper level. The mage trekked through the hallway and pushed the door open. The warm air of the manor was replaced with frigid cold wind. The carpet was replaced with snow-caked cobblestone. What left everyone shivering in fur clothing was nothing to the Arali underneath the human veil. A scowl painted Severa's face as she continued on through the blizzard-swallowed capital, the only warmth being the braziers holding once large white fires that shed its brilliance throughout the capital and every home of Caduceus. Severa was approached by Len, a paladin in training with his sheathed sword on his belt and silver armor on his body. She glanced at him, eyebrow raised in confusion, then continued on. Is there something I can help you with? Just wondering if you need a coat or a drink either, or will help you out here in this cold. I'm fine, Len. The cold doesn't bother me. Perhaps go back to training. You still can't beat me, and you're wasting time talking and not swinging your sword. Why are you always like this? I figured you were just adjusting when you came here, but it's been 5 years and you're still a bitch. Len asked. Wow, Len, you just developed a backbone, and it only took you forever and a half, but hey, better late than never, I guess. Again, what are you so mad about? Oh, I don't know. A city defended by marauders masquerading as heroes, and in front of me trying to pretend to be anything but another marauder. Should I be acting ecstatic like the love of my life has swept me off my feet? I won't act like the Templars are perfect, but they're out there laying down their lives, defending this place while you're doing what with your arcane knowledge? Defending an oppressive system isn't heroic, Len. My arcane magic will go towards only what I'm obligated to do, go back to training to be the same oppressor. Just forget it, enjoy freezing in the cold. Len said as he walked off. I will, dear. As she got closer to the entrance of the Undercity, guarded by 2 silent paladins standing firm with their glaives. The cold wind carried remnants of heat from the gate, likely why the guards did their job well, although they didn't acknowledge Severa as she walked past them and went down the elevator. The remnants of heat grew into streams the deeper she went. The bright blue sky was replaced with barley-lit tunnels, and cobblestone was replaced with jagged tunnel rocks. The elevator stopped 100 feet down, and Severa immediately noticed the stench of the Undercity. The odor of trash, rotten eggs, musty moldy wind wafted around Undercity. Cracked and crumbling buildings were bunched up with each other on narrow streets. There weren't many paladins patrolling the Undercity, but Severa didn't take any chances, and slipped behind a building to turn off her glamour in a prismatic flash. It was like finally breathing as she brought out her original visage. What paladins were around didn't acknowledge her as she walked by them. Fine for her, the less interaction she has with paladins the better. "Excuse me, miss, do you have any food?" asked a green-skinned Arali man old enough to be her dad, sitting in a pile of trash, with bugs hovering over him. Severa silently stared at the man, turned to the paladin, scanned her surroundings anticipating some elaborate attack. Even as she scanned for magic, she found nothing. She decided to hold out her hands, and with an incantation conjured a loaf of bread in her palm. "Here, sir." He took the bread and held it close to him. "Thank you, miss. May the light of our grace bless your kind heart." Severa rolled her eyes, as if she would really want anything Virgo has to offer. "Okay, sir." As she kept walking around the Undercity, she noticed the Temple of Virgo. The stone was run down, cracked, and crumbling. The garden around it was wilted and dead, along with the dim braziers whose flame was no larger than a candle. From the corner of her eye she noticed a blue Arali girl running from a crowd. The girl ran into Severa and fell on the ground. She saw the girl's single horn on her forehead and short white hair. She saw the crowd of boys, probably 12 to 14, who stopped and stared at her. The girl got up and ran behind Severa's leg. "Please help me," she pointed at the boys. "They keep bullying me." The boys began laughing as the leader Melek said, "Oriana, what is she supposed to do? She looks hot but weak." "Thanks, kid, but you're not my type." Melek conjured flames in his hands. "Good to know. Step aside. This has nothing to do with you." "That may be true, but I can't leave a girl to be brutalized by a gang of boys twice her size. Don't you kids have homework or anything better than a crime? I'm not going to explain it to you. Get out of the way." "How about no?" One boy ran at Severa, fist ready, but Severa sidestepped and swung her leg into his face. His spit flew from his mouth and landed on the must-cake stone as he fell on his back. Melek's eyes widened as he saw his friend on the ground and tossed fireballs at Severa. But she outstretched her hands and conjured a barrier that tanked the explosions. "You think you're a demon? Let me show you a real demon," she spoke as she cast a phantasm spell. Her thumbs and upper finger connected like a diamond. Oriana saw nothing, but the group of boys began to tremble as the dim, cavernous chamber became pitch black. Numerous red eyes opened all around them like stars. Ominous whispers echoed around them as lines of sharp teeth opened, revealing forked tongues. The boys went white and ran away from the girls. Oriana got up and dusted herself off. "Thank you so much, miss." "You're welcome, child. Why were they chasing you?" She went silent as she pulled out a withered wheat stem. "I wanted to make an offering to Virgo. Pray for her so she'll bring back my dad," she coughed. "Oh really? Now I wish I did nothing." Oriana stepped back, anger painted her face. "Virgo is our patron goddess, bringer of light, purity, and abundance. As her children defended by her brilliance, we must tithe our offerings and prayer to her. It's the only way things will get better. Ah, that's sad you still love Virgo while her clergy oppresses you." She said nothing and walked into the rundown temple. Severa rolled her eyes and continued through the Undercity to the farmland. A vast expanse of poorly grown crops littered the chamber. Pests and the odor of rot radiated from the land, stronger than the trash that littered the Undercity. Severa once lamented this farmland, but now she had the means to make it better. She waded through the rotten crops and dug a hole in the dirt. Dead worms and rotten roots lined the edges, but from this poison and death would come life and bounty. The seed was buried in the dirt. A dollop of its creator's blood dripped on the dirt, and a green light began to peer through the soil pile. She stood up, patted the dirt from her hands, and walked out the farmland. All that was left was to wait. As she turned around, she saw an Arali woman with pink skin and curved horns on her forehead, and the white robes of the druidic maidens of the upper city. "Excuse me, ma'am, you're not supposed to be in the farms," she said. "I'm surprised to see you here, Demeter. You maidens seem more focused on enjoying the surface than your duties down here. You act like your inaction isn't the cause for this." Demeter crossed her arms and looked away from Severa's eyes. "I know. We haven't been keeping up with the rituals. The constant Tiham attacks and our Templars' dwindling magic has caused a lot of stress. Whatever stress Tiham attacks give, the paladins are supposed to deal with it. Someone had to step up. You aren't wrong. But someone who has no idea how subterranean agriculture works shouldn't be touching the farmland. You're likely to only make it worse." Demeter said, "I know enough. Besides, you can't do anything. You're missing 5 of your sisters." Severa observed. Demeter sighed and said, "I know, but She was interrupted by a loud explosion in the distance. The ladies turned to see people running in large crowds. Their screams and stomping filled the underground like an ocean. Behind them was the stomping that outdid all of them. A Tiham 16 feet tall, broad shoulders that made its upper body slump. Its 5 cores lined its body, 2 on its shoulders, 1 on its chest, back, and head. This Tiham stared down the people, a scared child in its left hand. A contingent of 4 paladins surrounded the demon, their glaives aimed at the demon, but as it stared at the knights it unleashed a powerful scream that made them drop to their knees and hold their ears. The chamber shook as the demon's screech echoed through. Stone spikes fell from the ceiling and impaled the paladins. "Oh no," sighed Demeter as the demon crushed the downed paladins beneath its fist. "You need to get to safety, miss," she shooed as she ran towards the demon. The Tiham tossed the civilian aside and noticed Demeter standing on a rooftop and preparing her magic. It picked up a pile of rocks and tossed them at Demeter with such velocity that it shredded through the rooftops and buildings. She avoided the rocks and fired a radiant beam at the Grendel. The beam engulfed the demon and broke the core on its chest as it ended in flickers of white. Demeter conjured roots through the ground that restrained the demon by its arms and legs. This wasn't enough as it let out another screech that shook the chamber and made Demeter fall to her knees. Covering her ears did nothing to stop the vibrations rumbling her bloodstream. It stopped. Demeter fell to her side, her body twitching from the sheer sound. With a raise of its thick, burly arms it then slammed down on Demeter. Its force sent rumbles throughout the chamber, as Demeter clung to life with shattered bones, her heart barely beating. Before a fatal blow could befall her, a large stone spear pierced the Tiham and sent it flying until it was pinned to the wall. Severa ran to Demeter and restored her via chronokinetic reset. Her orange soul energy became teal as Demeter's bones mended, her muscles repaired, and sensation of pain subsided. Her eyes opened, she sprung up invigorated and confused. "You know magic?" she asked. "Not now, we need to kill this thing." Demeter got up and nodded in agreement. "You're right. Do you have a plan?" "You wrap him down. Muzzle him so I can break each core." "Understood." The stone spear shattered. The Tiham fell on its feet and glared at the mages. It ripped boulders from the stone floor and tossed them at the girls, who swiftly dodged them. The girls ran to the demon, who swung its arms and slammed the ground in a desperate attempt to survive. It prepared another screech, but roots erupted from the ground and muzzled the beast. Severa fired a resonant round from her bedlam, 34 that surged through both cores on its shoulders. It fell to its knees, screams barely escaped its muzzled maw, but it retaliated with a powerful slam on the ground that sent a shockwave of force and rocks that pushed the girls back. Severa conjured an astral silver bow and pulled back the arrow. "Get the back core, I'm going for its head," Severa said. Demeter nodded and planted her hands on the ground. With an incantation, a pulse ran through the ground and dropped rocks on its back. Severa loosed her silvery arrow into the demon's head and shattered the last core. Its body dissolved into black mist, and the threat was finally averted. The girls took a deep breath as they sheathed their weapons. "Thank you, miss. I don't know how you have magic, but there would be more damage if not for you." "That's correct. However, I need to find out where it came from. If the entrance isn't taken care of, then this doesn't matter." "True. That's something I need to know as well." Severa rolled her eyes at the thought of further cooperation with Demeter. "Guess I may as well make use of you while you're here." "Humph." The mages followed the blood of the innocents to the thermal well, a large hole deep down radiating orange light and immense heat, glittering with gems and metal veins. Pickaxes, bags of rocks and metals, rails with carts full of gems laid silent on the stone. Demeter and Severa looked around dead silent. The only thing that filled the silence was the bubbling of magma down below. The lingering scent of ichor and blood led them to a large hole. "Found it," said Demeter as she spoke an incantation and filled the hole with stone. "This is just a bandage, you know. Regardless of defenses, if things here don't improve, the collective negativity will bring more than one Tiham." Demeter went silent and somber as she pondered Severa's words. "I understand that. I really wish things were better. Wish in one hand, shit in the other, see which one fills up first." "Very pessimistic of you." "Damn right it's pessimistic. I'm looking at second maiden Demeter, one of the strongest mages in this kingdom, and not only did she need help to kill a single Tiham, but is telling me she wishes the oppression of the upper city would end. This situation is truly fucked. I don't know what else to say, Mame." Severa rolled her eyes and walked past Demeter. "Don't worry about it. The only solace is that this won't be forever. Either someone in your government becomes useful and fixes this, or the T-hum will end everyone's suffering. Demeter remained silent as the two mages walked to the surface of the thermal well to find a crowd of people clapping and cheering. They screamed that the girls were heroes. The genuine adoration was odd to Severa as she turned away and placed her hand on her head. The girls nodded as the crowd hugged them. This surge of positivity would keep the monsters at bay. Severa continued on through the streets and saw her plant grow not to its maximum, but a glowing green sapling, with a small patch of invigorated, purified soil around it. She smiled as the plant took root, and thought of how soon it'll be a source of bountiful food and pure air for the Undercity. With a nod of admiration, she walked down the street to come across the Arali child Oriana sitting on the ground, her horn missing, scratches on her body from fallen stone as she noticed the crumbled shrine next to her. "What happened, child?" She looked up and pointed at a boulder, one Severa surmised to be one of the many boulders the Grendel tossed. Severa sighed and said, "Hold on." She hovered her hand over the child and engulfed her in temporal power that rewound her 5 minutes, mending her wounds and giving her back her single horn. Oriana jolted up, felt her horn and hugged Severa, her head buried in her hard abdomen. "Thank you, my Virgo, bless your kind heart." All right, you're welcome, now get off me." Oriana got off Severa, walked back and stared at the ruined shrine. "The shrine? Can you restore it? I'm not a construction worker. Besides, don't worry about Virgo. She wasn't doing anything for you." "You don't know that, Oriana. For paladins were nothing but fodder for a T-hum that wasn't even high grade. If it wasn't for a mage not even fit for combat and an outsider, it'd still be on a rampage. You'd think the people could put 2 and 2 together." Oriana picked up a dusty idol to Virgo and turned her back to Severa. "Faith is all we have. And look what it has done to you. You live in a cesspool with muggy, putrid, smoldering air, while those on top get fresh air and cool breezes. It's only a matter of time before the surface gives out. I suggest you make a plan to leave this hellhole before you're faced with more than one of those monsters." Oriana picked up a dusty, cracked idol of Virgo. Its wings had crumbled and fell off. With that small fragment of faith, she silently walked off. Severa shrugged and sighed as she left the Undercity.